Ladies and gentlemen, all you wonderful people out there, Danog is shaking his head because I haven't actually called him yet, so you get to see him, but he doesn't know that you are seeing him. He doesn't know, so we're not going to make sure that anything bad happens right now because, oh my god, I'm actually thinking off my face. There goes the ad. Another flawless start to the day. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome. Now Danog knows that we're looking at him. We have been for the past couple minutes. Hey, come on, man.
What? You didn't let me know? No,
I went off briefly. It was I was worried that something was gonna happen. But yeah, nothing bad happened. Nothing is wrong. All good. How you feeling?
5 seconds remaining.
I'm excited for DOTA. I hope you've got your monster ready and ready to watch some more DOTA. It's been pretty entertaining yesterday, and hopefully we get some more competitive series today.
That's right. It's something that we would definitely hope for. And speaking of potentially competitive series, we got a game that is already underway. A draft has started, so let's hop into it right now. More than just our ugly mugs. Boom ID is facing off Reality Rift. Best of 3. And I don't know exactly where to rank these teams. You had said that you felt like Boom was making some pretty big gains as an organization, or as a nation over the past little bit. Reality Rift, to me, Alacrity has at times like the best player in Southeast Asia and the worst player in South. I guess it just kind of comes with the territory.
It does, and I think that's just Southeast Asia in a nutshell. You've always had these potentials for being a
10 seconds
skill
remaining.
spectrum, I suppose, and you've got people that have come in that have created more structure around it, so that variance isn't quite as high as it used to be. Like in the DNA, basically, have the potential to throw or make these massive plays.
I agree. It's and it's entertaining atmospheres, at least for me, at least. That sticks out often in the past for Reality Rift is playing around Alacrity's Ember Sphere. They take the first phase. Something that we don't see all that often. And then a Rubik Centaur that too as well. Exciting times. Real quickly.
Radiant team ban.
They should be doing their way or the highway.
Radiant team pick.
Get gone out. I've only played a couple of games. See, I played a lot more in China, with a very different environment as well. Get flamed in China a couple.
Did you understand how you were being flamed?
Yes.
Oh.
Question marks transcend cultural barriers.
Okay.
And I got many of them.
Yeah.
A lot from my team as well as the opponent team.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens.
I mean, the great thing about C, though, is compared to other scenes, there's very rarely any sort of like hard throws. Like, you will rarely see a tiny airlines happen in mid. You'll rarely see someone drop their items and destroy them. It's just try hard from start to finish. And if a team says GG end not defending, they're freaking defending. Like, don't believe a word they're saying.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay, and we had
5 seconds remaining.
Okay, you know, defend anymore. Ricky gets taken. High damage, stronger laner. I always feel like Ricky should more than he is. Games just because of the damage he does, but he kind of like run in a dynamic where I think about person to like a PA, for instance, right, where you have that like just blow target. He's sort of close to that, but not fully. Like, mates can help you out and get out of the the trouble that you're in, force staff or what have you. Sort of like, you know, an Ember Spirit where he can jump around and he doesn't have that level of light in. Kind of like jack of all trades and master of
Yeah,
but mainly focused on the
And it might force people to go into this this 4-staff build on Reality Rift. You know, one of those things that does counter the smoke. It allows you to stop being fully comboed together by the Rubik's Centaur as well. So we could see it, even though it's not the ideal build for every single support these days. So just to see how Reality Rift go about it, and as well if they're going to get any of these heroes that just get up in on someone's face and can use the dust to full effectiveness. That's something that does still take care of Ricky relatively well.
Grimstroke.
Airbreaker. Get in there. Run after him. Yeah. Take the Grimstroke now. That's I always think about like the liches be that like the greatest combo.
Yeah. It's a lot of damage coming out as well, you know. Big Fade Ball, Ledge, of course, anything to do with silence, and as well, you can kind of keep people locked in the space if you get a rust followed by a smoke cloud as well. So, see how that one goes. I wonder if this is going to be your position 3 Mirana that you were telling me about from your pubs yesterday, or if it will be the pos 4 or standard.
I like it. Personally, I've been playing. It's quite. Obviously things get a little bit weird when you're getting mine
10 seconds remaining.
because it's hard to out them, right? It's hard to out
5 seconds
that
remaining.
but just that initial setup for it. Past is like a Wyvern with a Mirana, and then you have Earth into Arrow, easy kill, classics. They don't really have great setups right now, but I remember back in the day, in and probably other regions as well, there were times where Ember Spirit would go like a 4-4-0 build and be like really for the arrow in the middle. I want to say that was mainly in South America, but I think it went to other regions as well, where you just try and get a lot of
Dire team ban.
arrow.
Just thinking of what Reality Rift are going to do to round out this drop. They don't have the most games to base things off, at least on this patch. They've only played 6, I think, since 7.25 came out versus Boom's 20. So it's a bit of a variance there. They've played a bit of Faceless Void, they've played a bit of Dragon Knight, alternating between mid and safe lane.
10 seconds
So,
remaining.
I don't know, I feel like that would leave them a little bit too
5
front line
seconds
heavy.
remaining.
I suppose they don't have a ton of magic damage right now, so something like a DK could be pretty useful.
Down for DK. And powers down. That would
Dire
mean you're talking
team
about for Reality in this Berta safe lane.
No, you could do safe lane Dragon Knight as well.
Okay. That the other day.
Gabby, yeah. Until they got stomped. No, that got stomped. So, I think it was Raven as well.
CR.
Did Raven play it?
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know. It all blends together.
Yeah.
5
A
seconds
couple of games I
remaining.
remember from that one, but especially because they were.
Yeah.
Radiant
Yeah, it
team
was-
pick.
It was a flurry of activity, and it's a Shadow Fiend. Okay, something a little bit different.
So flame Mirage Slardar, likely Slardar. I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think you need to get up the level of tankiness and beefiness. Yeah, you've got it with Lich to be able to just get in there on the
10
front lines,
seconds
find the
remaining.
Ricky before you get burst down yourself. And I just don't think you have the
5
tools for it if
seconds
you're playing
remaining.
it as the position 4.
All right, well we'll see. And one of the cool things got now is that minus type of strategy. Shadow Fiend goes 5 at present. Ember's damage significantly boosts it up. Otherwise, right now, they don't really have the tankiest of heroes. Ricky has pretty good armor. Obviously, Centaur is big, but he doesn't have the greatest like self, so he's that too. Otherwise, there's gonna be red.
Yeah. I'm thinking, well, go for Kunkka maybe.
Go
Indeed,
ahead.
yeah, that's
Select
the top
your
3 that
heroes.
we're thinking. So OD, Kunkka, as well as the Void Spirit were 3 that do get picked up a lot by Boom, but I think 2 of those get countered relatively well by the Alacrity Shadow Fiend. So you're just left with the OD.
Yeah, for some reason, there's a Like, all right, alacrity. Yeah. Takes me a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hopping in right now, and I know that you're going to all cry, not be able to see our faces, but we are going to switch back over into the back later on. Don't worry. You still get to listen to our voices, though. Half of the weaknesses. I'm enjoying the, like, it's weird being on camera during the draft when you're not at an actual event. I don't normally do the cam, but
yeah, it's a little bit different.
So, number 1, boom, Squirrel facing off against Reality Rift. Be able to take, as far as the stakes, again, in mind, this is round robin group stage with all 8 teams facing off against each other in between. Well, starting yesterday and then going all the way until the taken or something like that. And of course, later on, when you get towards the final bit, it's going to be playoff matchups that happen as well. So a whole round Dota 2 that's coming through. Incline, come and check it out. It's going to be great Dota. The bets already, they're favoring Boom over Reality. Wow, great. We'll see how that goes.
You know, gun to my head, say who you're going to go for, I would say Boom. In any general setup, unless it's a massive outdraft, which I don't think it.
Far as again map, I am curious where they're going to stick her, because you would ideally want to like try and put her into a lane where she happen, right? An arrow that where that is it?
Well, it doesn't look like she's going to be doing any sort of roaming super early on because she's gone for Blightstone build, so it's essentially harassing as much as possible in the lane. Hasn't gone too much in the form of regen, so it's just about securing that slot of the stuff she needs so that she can then leave and then do the stuff that she wants to do. So I'm liking that. Reality Rift trying to be proactive, trying to be on the front foot and take the game on their terms.
Or as a lane, try and bully Ricky, only the one you got to be able to. Are we having a remake? Oh, Singapore.
Is that
It's
normal?
not fair. I don't know. You playing on Singapore? There's
Yeah,
not been chat.
I mean, that's like Belly Station server, right? I play on Singapore when I'm playing, so.
A quick little thing. Why don't you wax poetic about teams need to do for a second while I talk with the admins?
Alrighty, let me have a quick look at a few of the item builds. Again, getting a little tired seeing the headdress, but it's a good item, so we're seeing all teams go it out. Kescute, he's up into a Basilius, so he's just going to want to be spamming out. You would assume the Stroke of Fate in lane. someone like a Rubik, you know, you don't want to get caught out on your own. Getting a couple of the player stats up. He's already got, like we saw the other day, all of those Ring of Regens. He got the Ring of Health eventually. I don't think he went the Heart of Tarask on the... Was it? It was like 3 kill, 21 kill game, I believe.
Got it, nice star. I'm not sure.
30 seconds to battle.
Go X-way down here.
Is this on?
On the warp scout rotation. High ground here for... Well, we could spawn for a fight a little bit. We got 3 heroes top right now. Boom. Watch out for.
If you're a little more confident, you can see Heidi's sort of positioning himself here. Mirana going down below, trying to get in on a different angle, catch someone out.
Root, connect, stun, it's there. Good amount of damage, but it's gonna matter. Retaliate attacks. No way, still looking for the moment. Regen isn't quite gonna be enough to get the kill. Well done. It's better than I thought they were gonna build it.
Yeah, that Blightstone really comes in handy. You've got multiple people hitting on someone with that -2 armor. It comes in big, and I think right click if you can survive for that long, and he would have got away.
They got every bounty room. Every bounty, and they also managed a first.
You want to be able to get those drones that allow you to take on landing stage. He's always going to be able to deny out at least one range, right?
Yeah, it's true. Didn't it? But at least our hopes to have a really against Shadow Fiend. He expects never going at the very least. Bit up later.
And it needs to make sure that he does this at the level 1 and 2 stage, because once Shadow Fiend hits that level 3, only 150 damage, but potential starts to happen.
Yeah, so it's scary. Quickly fading around that Shadow Fiend match. So if you do end up using the Astral, there isn't. Here's about what like not exactly like Drew. Is that able to have a salve in the back of it?
To be able to hold off on the clearing chains for that. Yeah, just get it at these away. One of those heroes on boot, I probably would have been able to catch him in finish.
Yeah. Done. Pull here. This is single pull though. So if they keep locked off, then they're not going to be able to get afterward. So this is going to be put to a relatively
nice little mindset from KSQ as well, making sure that he's cut out this tree towards the bottom of the hard camp and standing in it to block the creep spawns there. So Mirana's not going to be able to get that Sacred Arrow experience using the arrow.
Yeah. Pull back. Careful though, because Primo Cell's not really gotten that much CS so far. Slarder's kind of owning. Going top lane, trying to get the hide. We'll find the chickens. Don't have any points up in Sleight of Fist, but they don't need them. Nuts just finishes off the kill. FBZ was pulling the wave back behind it. Managed to get this one down some amount of night out, but
You can see Drew, he's trying to keep the creep equilibrium there so that they can get this pull off onto the wave and just continue to nudge it more and more towards their tower. So Hyde, kind of the sacrificial lamb in making sure that they were able to farm safely for center, at least short term. Now we're going to see a lot more scrimmages happening now that they've got these extra early levels.
Dude, I don't know. This is looking rough right now for Boom. Like, if I'm looking at Reality Rift, the Slardar is popping off early on. They got that kill. They managed to get all the bounty runes. The first blood was there for them earlier. Like, it's 1,000 gold lead. Not anything to write home about, but it feels like the only lane that's going kind of well is Makoto. And well, he might have gone down as well. It does pick up the raindrops now. So that'll make the lane. It's not like Shadow Fiend's hurting either.
Yeah, he only narrowly missed out on dying Makoto there. Alacrity just a little bit short on his close range Shadow Rays. As you can see, he's constantly getting bullied out. Has the Ring of Regen and those raindrops to be able to sustain through
Dire's
it.
top tower is under attack. Must I repeat myself?
And onto him now. Again, the Flame Guard is there. The TP away. No way to break it.
Dire's top tower is being
Have to
attacked
get
like
out,
nobody's
dodge,
business.
all the way back home, and they're gonna get this. Like it's gonna push back by that tower when he gets there. Nice early game so far for Reality Rift.
Absolutely, always making sure to have the kill potential here on Alacrity as well. He's Mango that he's just popped. He's gone to a bottle, so he wants to be able to well, take Makoto down from 50% life to 0 if the opportunity presents itself.
Dash with small mini items. Bringing that stick out for himself.
And you level 7. That's the main priority for himself. Now he should hit it around the 7-minute mark, which will coincide with those first neutral items, so it's going to give him an even additional boost.
Throw out there of Stroke of Fate.
Dire's structures
They're
are fortified.
fine. Gold lead now is accelerate, not the guest battle, but kind of looking like winning the regen wars as well. Kodo already going to be rushed likely back here based on pickups.
And the thing is, though, at least for they haven't left themselves super vulnerable if they do, suggesting lose the early game. You know, there aren't some crazy pushing heroes on Reality Rift side like the Chen.
That was close though. Yeah, the push is not amazing.
Yeah. Shadowfeet's pretty good, but, you know, he's no death problem.
Right. Yeah. And it kind of is more predicated upon them winning a fight really badly, and maybe he goes for the presence or effects buildings. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I feel like that's been almost not seen at all. Drew making a couple tower shots, still thinking about dying. This is a little bit dangerous here. Not careful. FBZ gonna go down. Never mind. They aren't able to do anything to that. That dive did not go the way that Reality Rift would have wanted it. Taking some tower shots, but they still managed to get the kill and get out with the Ember.
Leaves Ricky down here solo as well, so you can see instantly Hustler. He's trying to look around, trying to see if he can make things happen. He might try and stack once and then move around towards this mid lane.
Ricky, I mean, AYX is going to get level 6 in a second, and then, I mean, Ricky might be in a lot of trouble very rapidly. And he's almost got 6. Trying to kill off these range creeps right now and see if he can go on. He's coming in behind everything. Oh, all right, level 6. They got the vision, they got the stun. Arrow, not going to be on the mark, but still they can dive this. Like, there's nothing to stop them from doing this at all. Being out with the TP, they're finally going to back out. There was a stampede popped on the other side of the map. Crush comes out, trying to take down KYXI. Did he go a bit too far? Link Strike afterwards, trying to get the vision, but they're not going to find him. And instead, the turn back onto Hustler. Get out of dodge. Will be able to make... Again, just taking through tower shots. They weren't able to get the kill, though.
Not able to get the kill, just missing on the arrow as well. I mean, it's a little bit of a failed gank, but again, both sides, I think they're keen to take this to the later stage. They want to show the teamfight prowess. They don't need to go this full. But I'm happy that there's different forms of the meta that are still present.
Yeah, that's true. Failed jelly. Alacrity is about it.
I mean, especially as a Shadow Fiend, right? It just gives you that additional burst potential early on, and then as the game goes later, sure, they don't have this massive boost right now with something like a Keen Optic, for example, but you're just going to have passively 2 more neutral items usable by your team as it gets into that second tier, third tier of neutral items.
No, I'm with you. It's gonna that timing that much stronger. But speaking of which, it's around that 10-minute mark.
Been cause for celebration?
The net worth, it's all inhabited by the Reality Rift Wars, as there is going to be a kill down bottom. Mirana goes down. They're contesting this side of the map. A lot of heroes over here. Haze. Looks like it is going to be a trade-off of Outpost. Boom, able to get a couple bounty rooms.
Alright, so a little victory. They had to use, I believe it was a couple of charges of Blink Strike. Was able to restore up, so wasn't able to use that last one to chase any sort of additional kill other than the Mirana. And, we're going to see that constantly happening throughout this laning stage and the early to mid game. It's, you know, I feel like Boom's going to try and get aggressive early on. They're getting close to a few key items here. It's the smoke already coming up from KSQ towards the top side. They're going to try and get a pick off onto Drew.
Be really nice for them. Gotta get it ready. They don't have any points in Cloud yet, but stun, it's gonna be there. And with the silence afterwards, he's high.
That's exactly what they needed to do. Now, even though they don't have this massive push lineup, they've still got a creep wave here. They've still got 3 heroes on the top side. They've picked the team fight in a vulnerable area for Reality Rift. But on the other side, you've got top damage Shadow Fiend and a Siege Priest. They're happy to do this trade.
There's a TP actually. It's coming back behind the tower, and that throws the Frost Shield to a good hit coming in there from Dreamo Cell. The player pulls him back in. Amp damage. Cross Teddy's the follow-up in some trouble now. Dreamo Cell could think about jumping off to the side, but he just accepts his fate. He's done. I'm trying to stay very quiet. Often gonna have the courier deliver afterwards. Not enough mana for a TP out yet.
Yeah, I mean, Reality Rift again getting the better half of that. Got the tower, out the carry on their side, and it was only for the loss of nuts. And sure, he had to use the Chain Frost to be able to do it, but this time the Dempsey's just been sitting, doing nothing. Didn't even have the mana to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's not easy. This game has not looked amazing. They moving forward, trying to find Alacrity. Oh god, and he is living life on the edge right now. They're gonna see him off to the side, back behind the trees. They want to find the opening. Arrow dodge back by Hyde. Oh man, and he didn't even have vision there, I don't think. Meanwhile, secondary arrow not quite gonna be in range. Makoto will get the TP out. No, wait, what? For the TP?
I mean, maybe they're keen to fight, but I don't know. They don't really have the heroes for it.
I mean, they are all here. The follow-up is coming, but they have a haste run on Drew. Makoto is in trouble as they're going to go forward for this one. Find the shackles, triple remnant for the arrow, goes through the dead body, and Reality Rift are just going to run through. Boom. The cancel. I don't know why he canceled his TP.
Yeah, maybe thinking, I don't know, he was going to get bashed by the Slardar and try and make something happen. It seems really confusing to me, and Dreamus, throughout all of that, he still doesn't have a TP. So if they're on point with looking at the Ricky Mara, they're going to keep this aggression up, or at least go for something keen and maybe try and follow up with some further kills.
That was intentional.
That was so bizarre. He's going to be kicking himself after that one. Man, Makoto, feeling sheepish. Does go for a little bit of a dig there, but he didn't get anything he wanted. He wanted his TP back. That's what he wanted. Regardless, 4,000 gold lead now, and they are ready to go again. Could be a little bit scary since they have Sanity's Eclipse still, and there were some Ulti's suspended there. Actually, Requiem is just gonna die again. Makoto gets jumped on, and oh god, what a tragic 42 seconds for Makoto.
Structures are fortified.
Yeah, he hasn't really picked up all too much. He's still 500, 600 gold away from that 4 stuff. Any sort of gank like that, you're in a very vulnerable position, my friend.
About such things.
Aim is hard.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Those are the arrows you love to hit as Mirana. Oftentimes they bait you into just
Dire's bottom tower is under
you can take a good with the bad.
I think they're comfortable with the positioning. Look at all these things. They're rotating down towards the bottom side. They know that that's probably where Dreamer Cell's farming. And he doesn't have that diffusal blade yet. He's still about, what, 700-800 gold away. He's clipped by that dust, but still, it's a risky proposition for him to be farming in these dangerous places. But I think that's kind of what Boom needs to be doing to give themselves a chance to come back to this.
I agree. It's so hard right now because, on the one hand, yes, you'd love to be able to just, I don't know, love to be able to farm your Ricky, but it's just not fast enough, really. So he kind of has to have it that a little bit more dangerous, what have you. But there's camps quick enough. Stay behind enemy line, farm in, whatever. But I guess the other thing that is really concerning to me about this is that it's a hero that is
Radiant's bottom tower is being
not fall off, but he can't get kill after kill after kill. Like, what is his role in this game?
Radiant's structures
Yeah, you need to be
fortified.
Looking to pick off these relatively pushy supports. You can do that once you've gotten defusal blade, especially against something like a Mirana. You're able to just walk out of your smoke screen. That's a gank wasted. That's time which should be spent farming. So this key timing on Dreamer Cell with picking up the D blade, now he's got the Claw as well, so that extra burst potential is really nice, but still, what, 450 gold away.
A shawl for the Shadow Fiend, Vampire Fangs for Centaur. They're gonna try and find him here. They don't have any points. Cloud though took his talent, so they can't set up onto Drew. Need to lift first. Are they gonna find it? No. He just gets out.
Under attack.
The reality rift pushing down bottom lane. KYX spots out Kescue. Arrow's not long enough, but KYX by sheer as heck is. They force out that stampede, and he's gonna back out now.
Nuts, but
ones that are setting things up. Like ideally it'd be Centaur gone, right? And then maybe you can Astro at the last second or something. But earlier on when he did the long TP post and then canceled it, they ended up being able to find that kill. Then later on bid, and then they that kill. And just now as well, it's like 3 times in a row where he's found at the beginning, and that's normally what you do when you're doing with the Ricky draft. Like Ricky would be the one that's out, but hasn't gone their way.
Especially a Ricky Grimstroke as well. You can see they just feel a little bit scattered with the style that they're trying to do. Got a Rubik Stolen Remnant, so he's going to have some maneuverability, but if it's going to be enough.
I always like Shadow, chase down Remnant, trying to run away. Toto staying alive. Maybe he can do something here, but the arrow comes through, then the follow-up stuff. Makoto is done. Buyback already came from the Grimstroke, now trying to find his way out of here. Dreamo Cell, as well as Torald High, are going to get ran down, and this might be a dieback for Kescue. He gets the bounty rune first, so that's something for his peoples. But in the end, it is going to be more pain and no gain. Reality Rift completely dominant.
I think we might see the GG pretty soon. just to guess. It just doesn't feel like they have a way to come back into this game. There were a couple of times after things weren't going the way that I think the previous death, Makoto, the rest of his team smoked to try and make some space for him, but you're not winning these team fights 5v5 and you're trying to make something aggressive happen 4v5. You're not going to farm up the rest of your Scepter in that time that they're able to create space for you. It just seems a little bit risky, and that's some of the benefit of Reality Rift taking these fights really well, in that to pick up Makoto, they don't need to use their ultimate. Maybe the Slaughter, but that's a 5-second cooldown.
You're not wrong. It's a pretty good spell to get out. And it's kind of what we were talking about before, right? Where it's like, this is a lineup that if you do manage to sort of get ahead and Shadow Fiend can survive in a fight, then you've got all this minus armor, and that just means that you're to go to town on Drew. wherever he wants.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I mean, we were speaking before about the variance of Alacrity in that he can have an amazing game or a not so great one, despite the fact that he was, well, we're going to see another bit here.
Now everybody is remembering back as like now the Yule Scepter with Void Spirit, but this is original. Scepter on Mirana. Make life.
Who needs another hero to set it up for you, right?
Oh, this is a good play. Nicely. That fork staff. I see you, Makoto. Although it's not quite going to be enough, it looks like. Fear, they'll pull back in. Can they keep FBZ alive? 6 clips gets the kill. That's 80 though. Now trying to live this. Drew down. Could come in a second. Drew, as he did before, he's not able to make the turnaround happen. Alacrity pop ultimate. That does allow the rest of them to escape, but us, Drew, can you find any more as Boom now? Are you going to overextend? They don't have Requiem anymore. But this Moonlight Shadow, it's about to wear off now. They're waiting on the high ground. Oh, Makoto, don't walk up that hill. Don't walk up that hill. No, you know, never in doubt.
It's like, oh, thank you for the scan. Because he was going to do it if he didn't have that.
Yeah.
Dreamer Cell, he's just off one of these anglers, but anyway, XY, and he's way too tempted to be followed.
Sure enough. They do have at least this output. I think they kept that one through the last round of engagements. So they're getting like, they're at least not getting trounced in the XP. But
Another smoke about to happen mid.
okay. They've lost the top 2 towers Reality Rift have. So Boom could hypothetically, no, if don't really even have great heroes for.
And that's the downside of banning out all this stuff, right? You become vulnerable yourself. No, I'm really liking this build as well. He's gone into the Ghost Scepter, so even if that Ricky jumps on you, you don't need a 4-star. You can just Scepter and walk out of it eventually. By that point, he can get the Frost Shield off onto himself, and that Ricky's damage is heavily nullified. You're also not going to get this OD stealing up your intellect through his right clicks. Enjoy. Now we just need to hit that level 12, so his team presence is even stronger.
Yeah, it's a nice little bump. Extra damage. Damage goes up a little bit.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So nifty.
Yeah, I think Lich Ultimate is probably one of the best scaling ones in the entire game. You've got these heroes like Kafka, which it's like, oh, you get an extra 100 damage. Right. It's like, oh, great. Yeah. Whereas Lich, it's really noticeable.
That's so cool. Back to day. Right,
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Done. Looks like Crimson Guard is actually almost there. FBZ.
Shadows.
He's kind of been the lone bright spot in this game. And with the pipe done and into that Crimson Guard, I almost would have rather seen maybe that oh god, DDSF. I almost would have rather seen the Halberd before the Crimson Guard, but this is going to be potentially good. They vanished. Pretty gets the slow down there with the Stroke of Fate, but they're waiting up top. They want to try and get a kill on the comeback.
He didn't presence or affects buildings though, so not wanting to go all in, just valuing that movement speed, which is completely understandable, again, against a Ricky.
Graph feels like it could play out in the fights for Boom. Has the potential to be safe, you know? Get in there with the Centaur, some chaos. Makoto builds up some stacks with the Astral Imprisonment, and then you just drop the hammer at the end.
Yeah.
Is there still a chance that they can like take the fight effectively if they're in formation?
I think you still need to wait for this BKB, and I think Reality Rift realized that. They're going to try and be aggressive before that Kiana is able to come up online for him. You've also got the level 18 ready to come up for the OD, which will be very dangerous. One big benefit for them is that they've got the telescope available on the Rubik, so that's going to buff up the range that the Astral Imprisonment can be cast from.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing to watch for. I guess speaking of BKBs though, having it now on the Emperor has one also. About the Slaughter, got one. So you kind of need to wait on the BKBs of Reality Rift too in the midst of the fight. You can dive through because they have like no damage right now through BKB at all.
And all you really have that pisses spell immunity is the Soulbind. So when that BKB is popped, too much that you can do on Boom side to stop the Shadow Fiend.
I think the nicest part would probably be getting that Soulbind onto M. Him not being able to probably in the duration. But then it's like, okay, after you get that out there and you stop him from going crazy in the duration, you have enough damage without the Soulbind to win the rest of the fight. That's what's gonna be tough.
Gen Rune again. Like, Acridy has been a little bit blessed here with what he's been. He's even got the Spider legs so that he's going to be moving around a lot faster.
Oh, Stampede, gotta get away. Pipe, Crimson Guard. Done. Doesn't have back either. Oof. Right now, Reality Rift also holding outposts. Can they hold this push?
Probably not. I mean, maybe if they had the Lich on their side, it would be a bit more of a possibility. Grimstroke's Stroke of Fate is always kind of nice. He's stolen his remnants.
Overextending here. Roche is going to be back up in about a minute. So if somehow Boom are able to win this fight, they have a very clear objective they can go for afterwards. They don't want to push the tempo at all, or to force this fight. Photo.
See Dreamersill. He's waiting behind as well. He's trying to pick up some of these supports.
Alright, they've got the same Clip Charges built up. They just dropped the ulti immediately. It's not quite enough. Druid
They found him.
through that.
They found Dreamersill.
Do it. Can they get that kill? Dreamersill goes down. They force out BKBs. There wasn't any kill. I don't know. That was bizarre. Can't find any more even to enable next Makoto and through all of the crazy stun for freaking pummeled. He's gonna be able to save him for the moment. And I'll say his Eclipse comes up. We take that another round. Makoto is just gonna stay in a different plane of existence here anymore, but he will eventually die. That plane is no salvation. The second round of BPs, KYXY tries to run away from Dreamosel. Still taking a lot of back. And this damage, they do manage to put him down. Cloud gonna on a Drew, defuse the blade, he has BCB back up again, turns the fight, takes down the Ricky, dead for a minute. FTZ hoping to be able to find any more kills. 330 dead. It looks like finally, Boom ID gets some signs of life. They take down 4.
Esports got something out of that team fight. I'm a little surprised at how long Makoto waited to actually use that. The BKBs were running low. The Centaur only had about 5 seconds left until he was going to be back in the team fight. So why not buy back? Why not have an impact and actually do something as opposed to wait for Dreamersill to die and then come in? You know, maybe just trying to bait them out to stay longer than they have to, but no, it was a risky decision, and we'll be able to take Roche quick enough.
I mean, this is the big question. Like, if Ricky was able to survive through that, this is super easy, but this right here becomes much harder, Roche to finish off. And you have to know right now, if you're that this is what they're going for. Boom, realize they cannot do it, back out, and it's not going to connect. Looks like with that, Reality Rift have dodged a bit of a bullet. I mean, it's not like they're under too much fire or anything. It's still a 10,000 gold lead, but giving up the Roche right there would suck.
Yeah. I mean, it gives them the ability to maybe dodge through some of the Dreamersill dying to Rubik and Marana and a Lich solo. Yeah, I don't know about that. They didn't actually have any sentry wards down. It was exclusively the gem on the slot at the time for the reason that happened.
They got this back too, right?
I believe so.
Oh yeah, Rubik had. I picked up that gem. Not do a quick feature. That's somebody else would be better, but. Up. Reality Rift want to put them in the coffin. Oh, hello. Jump the forward, taken down. Keep them alive. Okay. On the other side, we'll get burned down to death.
Well,
with that,
this Roche is much more takeable.
And they've got good board in this area. They see Ricky. Up there. Idea. Going onto him, trying to take down Drew. Is it enough? Now he gets the BKB. They would love to get the kill, but it just ain't gonna happen. And if they lose the Ricky, they're gonna lose FBZ as he gets pummeled. Four are now dead, and Roche is wide open. I mean,
well, the thing is, I can see them going for that sort of play if the OD was in the vicinity, but he's sitting bottom doing nothing but pushing out a creep wave. So why are you throwing away 2 heroes and Roshan to get a couple of creep waves? It's a little odd. It really needs the Mithril Hammer, but is it that bad?
I mean, that's the problem, right? Is that like, it's not that any one thing. Oh my god.
Radiant's
Go in.
middle tower is
The
under attack.
reference are about it. Looking very good for Reality Rift right now. Arrow almost connected down to FTC.
I think we just need to give this up. They need to go on the racks. Can't make anything happen without Dreamers.
Structures
A little Rubik Ronin hanging out over there to the side.
They're gonna go in now.
Careful. Alacrity still hanging on to that Aegis. They have cheese on Ember. They need to blow up everybody. One giant Sanity's Eclipse to end all Sanity's Eclipses. Kodo, your time is now.
Radiant's top barracks
Time has
are
passed.
under attack.
Still have another chance.
And what an attack
Wait,
it
how did
is.
High?
You know, I don't.
Radiant's bottom tower is being subjected
I think
to
that it was
extreme
Corrosive Haze. Oh, arrow.
Radiant's
Good
bottom
force
tower
that.
has fallen.
Okay, another imprisonment. Leashed. They have 2 KBs pop. This is decent timing right now. If they can wait out these BKB charges and then go for a second round, this could work. Banishment, another one. Tasting, arrow. Back up. Makoto pull the dodge away from that one. KY actually runs in. It's his BKB trying to run into Makoto. He can inspire himself a kill. He's going to be able to get at least one. Alacrity now turned upon. They have Sanity's Eclipse if they want to drop it. And they're I don't know. Second with OD dead.
Yeah.
And now the game, I mean, the game was over for a while. GG is called. 2,000 gold lead. It happened.
Makoto was playing with fire there at the very end. He had his BKB and he was trying to man-fight Shadow Fiend that had a much better, and it just meant that he couldn't astral himself. He actually could have right at the very end, but he just waited for the right clicks to land on him. Like it was like half a second timing that he had, but yeah, it just seemed like Reality Rift had this game from start to finish.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back. Oh no, I did it again. I switched over to him before he was ready.
10 seconds
Oh no,
remaining.
he's there. Hello. I switched over to you a second before you were on. How's it going, Dan? How you
5
feeling?
seconds remaining.
Great, you know. Break.
Radiant team ban. Dire team
I am
ban.
the very greatest person in the world. Or am I just shallow shell of a man? Shallow shell of a man.
Did you get up and stretch your legs? That's the important thing.
Sort of. I mean, I didn't do like the bendovers. Are you a big fan of like, you know what I'm talking about? Like you cross your legs one over the other one, down and touch your toes. Big fan of those things.
Radiant
You hear that
team
there's a draft.
ban.
They probably won't know what's happening.
Maybe.
Or as briefly, yeah, but one of those things. So I can actually do the splits even.
Oh, wow. That's content right there. We got to get that out there. Yeah.
10
Terrible
seconds
idea.
remaining.
But regardless, we have the updated score now. Reality
5
Rift up
seconds
one
remaining.
game. Sports not swap sides, so Radiant still boom. Fire bans.
No, they banned the Morphling last time instead of the PL, but other than that, everything's exactly the same. Very similar as well on Boom's side, I believe, except the Lich as swapped for the AA.
Dire team pick.
That seems. I guess Lich was kind of annoying in that last game about that like top where top ice armor power and then killing him.
Radiant team pick.
And kept the Centaur preoccupied for about 30 seconds because he didn't have enough to actually TP out, so he was just stuck in those trees. This AA completely changes around how the game's going to be, right? Because that Ice Blast negates a lot of these heroes that are going to be wanting to go some sort of lifesteal, whether it be just through innate abilities or through items. It just completely changes
10
the
seconds
dynamics of the
remaining.
game.
Yeah, it's a terrifying hero to go
5
against.
seconds remaining.
The A with the like to see.
Radiant
Actually,
team
I mean,
pick.
Don't wanna play it.
Two is we have the Oracle get out, and we'll have a lot to say about that combo together with Ancient Griffin. But shout out to the sponsors, Monster, as you coined it yesterday, the Monster Mobile. Let us energize these late. Of course, Loot.bet, the official. Staying energized and excited
10
and very
seconds
vigilant.
remaining.
Tapping on. Bet says, Weed Spirits picked up Oracle.
5 seconds remaining.
What's that?
Yeah.
What's that little matchup like? Lighten the
Dire
viewers.
team ban.
Happening with it.
I mean, I think it's not necessarily just the matchup. It's just Void Spirit's a hero that Boom Esports knows very, very well. I think they've played it 5 times in this current patch, and they've won every time. So they weren't able to do it in the previous game just because the matchup was terrible. But this time around, it looks like a very different prospect.
Well, I was meaning more in like the dynamic
10
of
seconds remaining.
together, because back in the day, like when there was the Aghanim Scepter that
5
you would get on
seconds
A,
remaining.
like that would just buy all of the have that like 2-second window.
Yeah, 8
Clean.
seconds. 8 seconds False Promise, 10 seconds Ice Blast debuff. So you got to be on point. You got to make sure that the False Promise is actually cast at least 2
Radiant
seconds
team
after the AA debuff hits you, and then you're all good.
If you die within that time, and then your team flames you and like, why didn't you false promise me? And you're like, you don't understand. That's not how it works. It would have done
You don't know how it
anything.
works, man. You don't know.
say, oh, but then you would have kept me alive from the fight, and I could have got. Oh, maybe you're right.
10
Maybe,
seconds
maybe.
remaining.
I don't
It
know.
depends
if you
how
can tell,
fun
this
they
has
are.
happened to me before.
Oh, just some
5 seconds
PTSD, like a
remaining.
1,000-yard stare going on, you know.
That's the 1,000-yard stare is Dota. When you just sort of your eyes glaze over side, it feels like the brain is bouncing off. They go back for the Ember again.
Speaking of Dota.
Yeah, right. Exactly. AA Ember. That's not...
Yeah, I mean, you can lock people in place. It gives you an easy setup for the Ice Blast. The relatively short range. You don't have to be standing way back as the AA to get that radius from the, to pop out. I don't mind it.
Void Spirit against the Ember. That matchup. I feel like that was.
Radiant team.
Where do you
pick.
like Void Spirit now? Because we have seen off lane.
Dire team
it's off.
pick.
Position 1 club recently. High MMR players, they lost, but I've seen it. I don't know. Where do you feel like he inhabits?
I like him most in mid lane just because like you need that level of farm to make him competitive, especially now that you have the Ags as a possibility to transition later on into the game. It opens up a lot
10
more crowd
seconds
control
remaining.
potential. You know, having a maximum of 4 seconds of stun, of
5
silence
seconds
is
remaining.
insane to have, especially against something like an Ember Spirit, and it might force him go into more of these defensive items that he might necessarily not want to.
Dire team, pick.
Boom. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that being kind of cool, but then do you have the damage to throw into the...
It puts a lot of focus to have a good start to the game. So I guess it leaves you open to reality risk saying, all right, Breaker, your job is to make sure that the Void has a terrible time.
10 seconds
And then
remaining.
what do you do? You know, it's got a big...
I almost wonder if it's the type of thing where you need to... Because right now, I don't think we have what... Oh, maybe put like position 1 Tusk, right? 1 Punch Man. Let's go. And then, you know, you get some other type of AoE control, and then the Tusk
Radiant
there.
team, pick.
One of those Neepos in the face.
Well,
oh god, they are so screwed. Oh,
there's
no.
some survivability. There's some push.
Tragic. What the hell did they do?
Mid Earth Shaker. Try it.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
I used to do that back in my day. I used to do that a lot.
Choose your hero,
Okay,
my
let's
good
go.
friend.
Big stapler, man. I mean, you talk about those abilities that really work against a Meepo. That's one of them, and it's going to be a mid Elder Titan. Not something you see every day.
Well, that is way better than my position 1 Tusk idea. Thank God I'm not a drafter, because that is really nifty. And
I mean, it slows down Meepo's farming by a fair amount, and it means that he can't get that key experience
5
lead that he
seconds
needs early on
remaining.
to be able to transition through the some levels for nuts, for example. So maybe things will change up. I'm interested in seeing as well how this KYXY position 3 Chen's going to go.
that the other day didn't go amazing, but maybe it's going to be a better one this time. We're going to leave our ugly mugs here. We're going to head on into this game number 2. Reality, we're going to be boring as hell. It's going to end in like 22 minutes. But we'll see. Read about scene. Is there...
Learn after he gets a few of those early levels.
I want us stacking better and, you know, getting movements out, denying creeps more effectively because it's that piercing. But we'll have to watch and wait. Tide takes over the outpost. FBZ giving some tips over to Alacrity. Dude, I'm coming for you. I'm gonna get stomping him in that.
I mean, I'd be tipping the Meepo if I was this Elder Titan. He's going to have a great time. If you've ever played Overthrow before, you know how good Elder Titan is when there's a lot of heroes or a lot of things to get the buff from.
So I am told.
Yeah, not wrong at all.
I suppose I had better
What
start
was it?
paying
The
closer attention to
Ags
the
build that people going for on like the
butterflies.
core EP? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you try and time the axe together, especially with 20, just so you get that plus 70 attack speed. You have the plus 30 Astral Spirit attack, probably the move speed, just to continue to chase people down, and then, as you said before, it just provides that BKB essentially throughout it all.
So we'll see what's up happening. He does take over the range creep. Doom, his range. See how that works out on his top lane. Alacrity getting the treatment. Take him down. First blood. So far, much better start for Boom. If we remember them getting no bounty runes and giving up first.
Yeah, and they've rotated Hustler up to this top side, so if Kescute and Hyde wanted to, they could now rotate down to the bottom side. You can see that Meepo's actually TP'd there, so I think their job is just going to be go where he goes.
Do that. We'll see. Let's show his face. KYXY is going to need self probably then as well. I guess he would need to be up top. Alacrity at the very least is going to get a wave or so of XP shared with the Chen here. Top lane, they're not leaving. They're sticking around. So you, a very strange state of affairs. I guess this is fine though for Chen. He can just jungle with this creep and like clear through the camps pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's having a fine time. And speaking of lanes going well, Makoto as well, he's 12-3 in this mid lane up against 5-0 in the Ember.
Makoto Cab Tour. This is the character arc that we all wanted to see. That last game, he's killing it.
Wait, look at it. He's got 150 damage already at 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and 9 armor. Like, what, how do you try and zone this guy out? It's not gonna happen.
Those
KYXY.
Got it.
Punched down by Hyde. Nice pickup there.
Orb of Venom coming in handy. That first blood going through to Hyde means that he can pick up those boots of speed as well. Now he's got the sustain coming out with his, I think it was a magic stick and a mango as well. So he just wants to be this ever-present force around the map.
Yeah, Tusk has been up the ranks, I feel like, of all heroes that enable so much. KYXY takes over the top here. Hit with the... They're going to try and get a pull off as well. Lane?
I'm surprised at how much time Hustler's spent in this lane. Yeah, he's only level 2. Maybe he's waiting for that level 3 to pop before he starts making rotations through these other lanes, but Reemtel's the big issue for them right now. Lackley's in trouble.
Dead now. Well, he looks like he might be able to walk it off here.
Dusk is always ready.
Steadily gets out. There was that change that happened now where you don't get your second depot until full.
Yeah.
How big of a difference do you think that is?
It's huge. You know, you can't just rotate through the jungle if you do have a rough time. It means that everything is down, like even by a couple of minutes. It's huge for Meepo because you've got this set window of about 10, maybe 15 minutes. Makoto's getting charged mid. Big.
Trying to find that kill. Fairy Fire's available. Down. There was
That's exactly what Hustler needs to be doing though. Like he was able to rotate through, charge in from the backside, so there wasn't any sort of vision that could have punished it. And now as well, which is really bad for this Elder Tough, is that this wave is getting almost completely denied underneath the Radiant Tier 1 tower.
Be able to live off the side. Drew is still going to pick up a regen rune after pushing it under there. So one by one, things going well. Or boom, but reality making comebacks there as Kodo got a little bit punished. Back in now. Again, I don't think it hit onto Drew. As bottom lane, they kill off Nuts. Drew onto 2, KYXY, just gonna keep punching him. No real threat there of a kill afterward.
Yeah, and that kill, like we've seen in this mid lane, Makoto having such a great time against Drew, just because of that kill and the fact that that entire creep wave was denied underneath his tower. He's now still behind the Ember Spirit, even though he's been dominant in this lane. So it shows how important Hustler's role is in this.
It goes down to Alacrity, but he did pick up a bounty run first. Yeah, I guess though that like for him, the most important thing probably is going to be levels. They're on them. Like getting up the decent levels early on, and then obviously getting into an Aghanims later. But it feels like just getting enough points in that Astral and survivability is going to be a threat to Meepo throughout the game.
And now he's here for nearly 200.
Cards connection. Oh, they hit the Astral Remnant onto the creep. Might not be enough though to get KYXY out as Ops the stick charges, trying to live. I mean, the fact they almost got away there would have been pretty nice, but that's the kill in the end. He's had a great start to this game.
Yes. 4-0, wow. We're going to be seeing some DJ-style Tusk, who knows?
I think that this smoke up too is so good. Yeah. They can find Alacrity right here. They've got an inkling that they know where he's at. Oh, that reveals it though.
I don't think they've got the though. That's the risk.
And he can't snowball right now. Maybe a chance. Trying to jump through. Snowball afterwards. No, he misses the shards. And Snowball run away. It's going to be enough to get him out. So Makoto's dying. Much worried about is they do manage to take down the Ember for Makoto. Hustler will go down afterwards.
But Dire's bottom tower is
all factor it together.
Looking so fortified.
This is the sea DOTA I came to see though. Run at your face. I love it.
Anyway, XY's dead too. He just jumped through Astral Step, give him the punches. Doesn't have mana. Oh no! All right, there he gets it. Was able to time that one.
World around you. Each choice led to here.
Yeah, definitely. 11 kills in 7 minutes. This is definitely that sea DOTA that I'll love to see.
They've got the Tomb ready on FPZ. They're able to chase down this Meepo.
Oh, body block, not enough there in time. AA shows up. They're trying to keep him alive here. Ring around the rosy, can't get quite in range. Deny possibility, they get it. Nuts gets the last right click there. Oh, and that was really nice. Dude, that alacrity like body blocks, so that way they couldn't get the punches on him, and it bought enough time for the A to get the deny. That was sick.
Pretty high. You see a lot of these individually skilled plays come through. It's just about, I think honestly, the way to measure what the best team in C is how do they actually coordinate together, not necessarily as it used to be.
Dire's top tower
Yeah,
is
that's
being
true.
attacked like nobody's
Like,
business.
the team that does work much better to get greater than
Dire's
some,
top tower is under attack.
Yeah.
something to keep in mind with them. Very dynamic.
A champ team, not a champions.
Hey, deep through
Dire's top tower is under
this
attack.
ward.
Yeah.
Must I
They'll see this
Cute.
split shot as well coming through the mid lane. But this is happening.
He has to
Dire's
cancel.
top tower
No
is
way
under
this-
attack.
No way. No points right now, and it stomps. Photo can't get after the breaker there. Quick jump back towards mid lane. Through. Farm it up a bit.
Did you?
Honestly, that's fine though. Like Hustler, he doesn't need to succeed with these ganks. He needs to create the pressure and make Boom want to react to it. And by doing that, Meepo's able to have this level of flash farm. Like, yeah, he had a pretty crappy laning stage, but he's still sitting up at number 3 on the net worth. Now he's level 7. He's going to get the next point in Divide We Stand at 11. So, not doing too bad.
So I guess that is something though that I'm a little bit concerned about, is they see Nuts over here and it looks like he's gonna go down to hide and Kesku most likely, barring some tragic play, but no, won't happen. Like at what point is it that they want to try and really put the pressure on? Because we've talked about this team to hit an early timing. Is it around that like mechanism for the chat after he gets this dominate, or is it more about like what Meepo had? What's the sort of impetus for going on a reality rift?
I think it's fine to start pressuring these tier 1 towers even when he's only got the Helm of the Dominator. He's still got an army of creeps here going to be trying to defend against with Hyde on his own, and then you can start to pressure more into those tier 2 towers beyond that.
Ooh. Oh, danger, danger. Primo Cell gets away for the moment, kills off Hustler, able to back out of there. They do kill one. Can they find any more? On the other side of it, KYXY, they turn onto him, get that kill as well, and seeing if they can finish off Dreamo Cell. This would be a big win. They could at least manage to get one of these kills. He does not have the mana to TP out right now. Maybe he could do something with the tree planting, but it's not going to happen. Though they do manage to get at least one for their trouble. But
Has that ever been cause for
they're
celebration?
trying to walk away. He is going to be able to back out, but with Spearbreaker coming, I mean, I don't think he can finish this charge.
Subjected to
He's thinking about it. Wants to go.
Do it.
He wanted to. He really did. But they lose another.
Some crowded airspace as well in the Radiant base. We're seeing internationally.
Got Veil.
Yeah, trying to do I think of that? I mean, I guess a lot of the magic damage that's coming through from this Void Spirit is magical. Basically all of it. So that's one way to potentially deal with this Meepo, trying to burst him down while remaining alive yourself.
It feels very weird to me. Like, the stats on it have been so heavily nerfed. That mana regen aura 9 attribute. But I guess it's cheaper as well.
I don't mean to be alarmist, but Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
A little bit interesting. I really thought that just turn it off and yeah. I guess he clear out waves a little.
I think turning off is probably the better play, but just making sure you got any Chen creep. Again, the name of the game right now for Doom is slow it down.
Fight! The blade mail that's coming out. Cool. Sure, unless something crazy. I'm not sure what. Nuts. Cool. Face down. They've got the shards collection. Nuts in some trouble. Gets the ice blast off. He's very low, but the hand of God not to keep him alive. While Dreamo Cell in some trouble. FBZ is there. They just completely eviscerate him. Then the ulti comes out from the Elder Titan, but this was never going to be enough. A triple kill for KYXY of all people. So much damage with his creeps in that fight. And well, that Dreamo Cell, got to be careful as well. They're trying to control False Promise. That's enough to keep him alive. He's going Battle Fury on Dreamo Cell. Is that the play?
Guess it's all right against a meat, but you know, typically the rule with Battle Fury is loot heroes and maybe Deeper, and that's about it. Everything else you're better served to do a Maelstrom, just because you're able to have that easier build up into it.
Tower is under attack with themselves.
Damn.
It kind of weakens the utility though between the Veil of Discord and the Void Spirit. I suppose it's not going all in onto one strategy as well, so then if they build up these BKBs, yeah, Meep probably isn't going to do it. But Ember Spirit, for example, it's not quite as impactful against him, and Mikoto is dying again.
Down so easy. I guess the other part about it that's nice that we didn't really talk about is that in comp the natural order that everybody's taking so much damage. Get a fight where they're kind of all together. The problem is that's also kind of what Reality Rec wanted to do with their lineup. They want to group together. They want to try and take big.
Seems to be the day for it.
Maybe you can get enough team fight items by Boom that going to, you know, take the fight effectively, but at Aghanims on the they're going to need a whole heck of a lot.
Top tower
now
is being attacked like nobody's business. Radiant's bottom tower is being subjected to.
Yeah, and they've got the mechanism completed. It just needs.
Feels real bad for Boom now.
It does, you know, it's to get these astral spirits off onto the Meepo, and he was dealing a ton of damage, about 350 a hit, but look at his items, he doesn't really have anything. He's not even hitting up onto level 10 despite being the mid laner. When you're a 4 level at a 4 level disadvantage compared to your opposing mid, it's never ideal, and I mean, they're just essentially waiting out the duration of that astral.
Man, what a sick couple of these guys from Reality Rift. Yeah, I think that it's also just been doing a really good job of like making sure that they're in the right place at the right time. It feels like leaving the Nether Shell because they want to try and get this cute. He has an inkling by virtue of that board of this is coming. Next is there with Fortune's End, self alive. They're gonna pressure the bottom tower again. I mean, it wasn't like they won spectacularly or anything. It was just like a slight win, but
under attack.
I mean, they need Mikoto there to have any chance of winning these team fights, but he needs to farm. He's got a Gloves of Gauntlet Strength rather sitting in his backpack. He's going into this style of build, and they're ganking him again.
Uh-oh. Kodo. Oh, the stomps. The Triple stomp. Oh, KYXY is doing so much, separating the rest of the team from him here. Do they have another round of stomps? 5 seconds away still. The jump forward, finding that Oracle, forced to use the ulti on him. His poor old man, Mr. Dreamo still has nowhere left to go. Kesku tries to get away. It is not gonna happen. Hyde, another one to be ran down here. Reality Rift have just looked crisp, clean, and those stomps from KYXY.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to control 3 different heroes, you could see the respect coming through from Hustler, and on top of that, you've got this Meepo that's finished up the E-Blade. Now he's level 15, so that physical damage might not even be too much of a factor. You're going to miss 1 time out of 5. And for an Elder Titan who only has 8 seconds of this Astral Spirit buff, that's a pretty big deal.
God, he needs that Ag so badly. It's been a tough series for him.
Just even needs a second bracer, you know, to be able to take some of this magic damage that's coming through onto him, because he's just dying before he can do anything.
You're not wrong. Something, anything. Like,